So if you put down that the odor, temperature, and color changed as a result of the chemical reaction, then you are correct. We already talked about how the odor changed from before the egg was cooked to after. The temperature also changed as well. As you may recall from a previous lesson, temperature is referring to the amount of energy that there is in an object. It can be in the form of a solid, liquid, or gas here on Earth. So let's recall, which of these three phases has the most amount of energy? A gas, a liquid, or a solid? Now, which one has the second most amount of energy? The gas, the liquid, or the solid? And finally, which one has the least amount of energy? The gas, the liquid, or the solid? Good. So we can conclude, basically, that this egg had more energy in its liquid form and now has less energy now that it is more in a solid form. Lastly, color has definitely changed. Before the chemical reaction occurred, it was clear with some yellow, and then afterwards, it changes even in the shade of yellow, which is pretty cool when you cook the egg. Bubbles were not produced during this chemical experiment, and it was not solidified in the fashion that we're referring to when we're talking about chemical reactions. Be sure to write down any questions you have about these things at the bottom of your notes so that way we can go about it in our next class. So finally, the bottom line is that chemical reactions are when one substance changes into another substance. You cannot reverse it without conducting another chemical reaction. So to end off today, we are going to play a little game of did a chemical reaction occur or did it not? In our first example, we have a fire. Did a chemical reaction occur here? Yes or no? If you answer yes, then you are correct. One of the strongest pieces of evidence is that the temperature has changed in this substance. And of course, we cannot reverse the effects of burning firewood. It is completely changed into a new substance. In our next example, we have digestion. When you eat food and it gets processed in your body, is that an example of a chemical reaction? Yes or no? It is a chemical reaction because the food that is going into your body gets processed, and when it comes out, it is a completely different substance. Without getting too graphic, we can definitely attest to the fact that when we eat our eggs, it goes in yellow, and when it comes out a different color, so long as we are all healthy. Next up, we have making popsicles. Is making popsicles a chemical reaction? It is not. And the reason why is because it's still the same substance, right? Before, it was just in its liquid form. You put it in the freezer, and then it comes out in its solid form. It endured a phase change, but it did not change the substance completely.